Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you so much for joining on a Saturday. We are back with another MProfit webinar today. And I can see that there are some questions that are coming in on the chat already. We definitely will have a Q&A at the end of this webinar as always. So just request your patience to answer some of your questions until after we're done presenting the main focus of the webinar today. Great. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we're going to cover today. So thank you all for joining. Some of our existing MProfit users and customers, as well as anyone who is exploring MProfit for the first time. Just wanted to throw a little bit of background as to what MProfit is. Before I do that, let me just introduce us. I am Atik. I'm one of the co-founders and the head of business at MProfit. I have with me Tanmay, who heads our customer support organization. Some of you already have heard from us in the past, but just we're very thankful that all of you are on this webinar today. To give you a little bit of context about MProfit, MProfit's a technology platform that allows you to manage and track all of your different investments in one place across different asset classes such as stocks, mutual funds, FNO, bonds, real estate, gold, NCDs, and more specialized assets such as private equity, PMS, and AIF as well. And we also support a variety of different integrations with brokers, PMS houses, and other financial institutions that make the onboarding and import of data fairly seamless and automated. Once your data has been consolidated into the MProfit platform, you can get a variety of different reporting insights in MProfit, such as capital gains, IRR, asset allocation insights, unrealized P&L insights, comparisons of your portfolio against benchmark indices, how you're doing versus benchmarks, and more advanced insights such as your 1 year, 2 year, 5 year XIRR performance, and more. We've done webinars in the past where we've covered a variety of different MProfit features in detail. We will be doing even more webinars that focus on specific features. Today's focus is talking about how to manage your mutual funds. We'll be talking about how you can consolidate your mutual fund portfolio to MProfit, how you can get different reporting insights on your mutual fund portfolio, and certain other things. One thing we'd like to specifically talk about today is a fairly new feature that we've added in the last couple of months. We've added a new API-based automation that allows you to directly sync all your mutual fund transactions to MProfit simply by entering your PAN number and syncing the data. So this is a completely new feature we've added. And this basically takes the mutual fund tracking automation to the next level. You simply have to, for each family member that you are managing an MProfit, you simply have to enter the PAN. You receive an OTP to either your phone or your email in the system, and you sync the data automatically once the OTP is entered. This imports all of the different transactions for that PAN number to MProfit, regardless of whether the mutual fund is held in physical or demat form. And a lot of our users have already started using this feature. Fairly easy to understand and use, even if you haven't gotten a demo of the feature from us before. But today we'll be talking about how to use this feature. And after you have synced your mutual fund transactions to MProfit, we'll be talking about how you can leverage MProfit to view a variety of different insights in MProfit relating to your mutual fund portfolio on the reporting side and the analytics side. And we'll talk about a few new features we've also added recently from a mutual fund analytics perspective. Some of our existing customers are also on this webinar, and we would like to also talk about one specific new update we have launched when it comes to discounts for existing customers. Anyone who is using MProfit for a little while now, we have launched an MProfit referral program where if you refer new customers to MProfit, you can get direct renewal discounts the next time you renew your subscription. This is something which we've just launched again in the last 2 months. And, we have seen that we have grown thanks to, the word of mouth referrals from some of your existing customers. We're super thankful to you. You have put reviews for us on social media. You talk about us on Twitter. You also promote us via word of mouth publicity. And honestly, that is why MProfit has grown to what we are today. We are not heavy on marketing. It is mostly word of mouth referrals that has gotten us the growth that we have achieved. So to reward you for referring us, we have launched this referral program. And I will just quickly show you how you can refer customers to new customers to MProfit. You can come to the main MProfit application, and at the bottom left, you see this refer a friend button. You can click here, and once you click here, you can see a unique referral link here, a unique referral link which a new customer can sign up with. You can share this link on WhatsApp, Twitter, or LinkedIn, or you can just copy the link as well. And you can share this with your friends and family who can sign up with this link and try MProfit for a free trial. We offer free 7-day free trials for our MProfit subscriptions. Anyone who tries MProfit, having signed up with your referral link and subscribing to MProfit within a period of 90 days, that will automatically credit the referral bonus to you. And that referral bonus is a direct 1500 rupee discount on your next renewal. So if you do refer someone who subscribes to MProfit, you will get a flat 1500 rupee discount, regardless of which plan they subscribe to. And that discount you can apply it the next time your renewal is due. So if your next renewal is 6,000 rupees, you get a flat 1500 rupee discount for referring a new customer to MProfit. So this is just something I wanted to cover, and you'll be able to see your referral points balance as and when you start referring customers. And now I think, without any further delay, we'll get started with the core focus of the webinar, which is mutual fund tracking, automations, and insights in MProfit. So thank you so much. And Tanmay, with that, you can get started.
Sure, Atik. Thank you. Thank you. So let's get started with deep diving into the new feature. So I think we can, you can share, you already shared the screen. So
Yeah.
you can stop the videos and then we can focus on the.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so before we get started with the new feature, let me quickly explain you the previous process. So as of now, till now, we used to recommend clients to get CAMS CAS PDF statement from camsonline.com and import that into MProfit to update the mutual fund transactions. Now with the new feature, new CAS API feature, we have made it very easy where you can simply enter the PAN number and the linked email ID or phone number to fetch the transactions. So basically we have done the direct integration with MF Central. So in the application, you can see under API, there is a MF CAS option available. So if you click on MF CAS, it opens the form. Okay. You can see the fields PAN, OTP via phone or email, phone number. You can select the period for which you want to sync the data, and you can add the nickname also. So basically, CAS API, you have to enter the PAN number and it fetches the transactions based on your PAN number. Okay, there is a verification required once you enter the PAN number. You can simply select the OTP mode, that is your phone number or email ID. After clicking on sync now, you get the OTP over email or phone number based on what you have entered in the form. And then you can simply sync the data. It will start syncing the data from MF Central for all your investments. Now this covers physical as well as demat transactions and across all different fund houses. So this one option you can select, you can get all your transaction, all your mutual fund transactions simply added into MProfit. So there is no need to now download the PDF file and manually import into MProfit. With this option, you can simply enter the PAN number, enter the linked phone or email, and fetch your transactions.
So we won't currently sync any existing PAN, but basically, as Tanmay explained, it is as simple as simply entering your PAN, requesting the OTP via phone or email, entering your phone number if you're selecting phone, entering your email ID if you're selecting email. And in the beginning, the first time you request your data from from MF Central, you select the period as all to date, and you add a nickname. And the reason why you add a nickname here is that you want to make sure you remember which PAN corresponds to which member. As MProfit, we allow you to enter multiple PANs. So once you have entered one PAN, and sync the data for that PAN. You can come and request similarly, you can request and call the API for another PAN. And if you don't remember which PAN corresponds to which member, you can definitely add a nickname here so that when you have multiple PANs to select, and there will be a drop down here, which you will see multiple PANs in, you'll be able to see which PAN corresponds to which nickname. So this is something that is an optional field which helps you select the right PAN when you want to sync your data.
Yeah,
And
so you
once
don't need to basically remember the PAN. Instead, you can just refer the nicknames you have entered. So it will be easier for you to select the nickname and then fetch the data accordingly.
Right. Once you click sync now, MProfit will basically sync your entire transaction history for mutual funds since inception. If the period selected is all to date, it will select all your mutual fund transactions since the beginning till date. And you will be able to view all your mutual fund transactions once they are synced. From the initial feedback we've received from customers, we are seeing that this feature is immensely helpful in allowing them to bring all of their mutual fund data into MProfit. And we've also had people tell us that they've been able to find funds that they didn't even remember that they owned, because MF Central will send you all your mutual fund transactions. So once you exit this and you see your mutual fund summary in MProfit, you might actually see funds that you've invested in many, many years ago also, and you'll be able to take a proper stock of all the mutual funds that you're currently invested in.
Correct.
So Tanmay, you can now that we have explained, the process is as simple. There is nothing more complicated than simply going to the API button, clicking MF CAS, and just entering the fields here and syncing the data. So it's actually that simple. You can do this PAN wise, and once you've done this, all your mutual funds will be synced into MProfit portfolio wise as you have mapped PANs to the corresponding portfolios.
Yeah,
So
I
in
just
this,
want to add, I think just want to add one point here.
sure.
As we are showing it for one PAN, so if you have a family and there are 3 different members in the family, we do allow syncing data PAN wise. So you have to simply sync the data one by one for one PAN, then second PAN and third PAN. So not only one PAN, but you can actually sync the data for all the family members.
Right. So you'll be able to sync data for each family member and maintain PAN-wise portfolios. Like for example, here we have created a Mehta family. We have A Mehta, B Mehta, C Mehta. And just I think one thing we wanted to just address here, a lot of questions about people not being able to see this option. This API feature, it's a new feature and it is available currently in our new plans, which are MProfit Lite Plus, HNI, and Family Office. So if you are wishing to avail this feature, even if you have been syncing, previously, if you have been using the CAS statement to import your data, and now you want to switch over to this automated API option, and if you are using MProfit Investor or Pro, you can reach out to us by sending us an email at support@mprofit.in, and our team will connect with you on how you can change your plan to either Lite Plus, HNI, or Family Office. So just to clarify, this feature right now is available only in the new plans. For any new subscribers, these are the only plans that we offer now. So you will definitely see this feature. This is more of a consideration for some of our older customers who use the legacy MProfit plans. So please do reach out to us at support@mprofit.in if you are not able to see the MF CAS API and you're using the older MProfit plans, and we can guide you accordingly. Tanmay, I think we can continue now.
Sure. Thanks, Atik. So as Atik mentioned, it's very easy to fetch the data now, all mutual fund transactions into MProfit. Now let's talk about once you fetch all the transactions, it will get saved into your portfolio. As you can see, a Mehta portfolio, and there are multiple funds available in this particular portfolio. So for our main classic application, this is the summary screen view which you're currently looking at. On the main summary screen, you see a fund name, quantity. Below that, there is an average purchase price, that is NAV. What is the current amount invested? Current price, that is current NAV of the mutual fund. Today's gain, unrealized gain, and current value. You can further drill down this view by double clicking on any particular mutual fund. Okay, you can select all to date to see all different transactions happened in that particular fund. So not only a simple summary screen, but you can further drill down to get the detailed transaction level view from the summary screen. Okay, I think you can just go back. On the main summary screen, if you want to see the annualized return XIRR, you can simply put cursor over current value for any particular scheme, and you can see the XIRR. So as you can see, for first fund, Aditya Birla Sun Life Tax Relief Fund, it's showing XIRR. For second fund, it's showing 12.45%. So this is one way of quickly seeing your returns for any particular investment. And similarly, you can click on particular head, that is mutual fund equity. If you want to see how much XIRR, it's 11.40%, for example, in this portfolio.
Right. So I think, Tanmay, I think what we can do now is we'll talk a little bit about the capital gain side of things now. I hope this has been a good explainer on how to use the API and how you can basically see all your mutual funds aggregated on the main screen for each family member. So as you can see here, you have A Mehta's mutual fund portfolio visible, and you have another member called B Mehta, and you'll have her mutual fund portfolio also visible here. And that is simply by syncing the CAS API. There's no additional manual work required from your side. As Tanmay said, you can also see the combined mutual fund holdings at the family group level by clicking the family group portfolio. So this gives you a consolidated view of your entire mutual fund portfolio across family members. And of course, you can add more portfolios if you need, if you have multiple other members in your family. So you can simply use the API and request PAN-wise your mutual funds for each family member, and you'll be able to get a similar view for each family member. So now I think, Tanmay, we can talk about the capital gain reports for mutual funds. Today, the focus is going to be on mutual funds. So, we won't really talk about equities and bonds and other asset classes. This webinar is solely focused on mutual funds and how to track them.
Yeah, so let's talk about the mutual fund capital gain reporting. As you can see, the option is on the top right side where this report launcher can be opened. On the left hand, yeah, you can just show reports, and then on the left side you see different subcategories, performance, capital gains, transactions. So you have to click on capital gains to come to this screen where you see different reports available: capital gains summary, capital gains ITR format, schedule 112 ITR format, and then to see the unbooked profit, you can also see the unrealized capital gain and summary and detail formats. So for mutual funds, we support long-term and short-term categorization for capital gains. Similarly, you get equity mutual fund reports with a grandfathering clause, and debt mutual funds with the indexation now. So various reports are available for mutual funds for basically capital gains to file the returns. These are ready-made reports. You just have to make sure that that data is synced properly and that is up to date. Once that is done, you can simply export this report and use it for filing purposes.
So we'll just show you what a sample report looks like. This is, again, not a mutual fund specific report. It's just a sample report we are showing you, where you can see your ready-made capital gains segregated by short-term, long-term, with the applicable grandfathering rule applied for your long-term capital gains as well. And then I think, Tanmay, we can just quickly talk about unrealized capital gains also similarly.
Sure. So just like capital gains, which is realized one, that is your book profit and loss, we have a unrealized capital gain report available on summary as well as detailed level. So this will help you to make certain decisions. So if you open the unrealized capital gain detailed report, it will show you for each holding, if you exit or if you redeem the particular mutual fund, what will be your gain or loss. That too, you will get the information whether it will be a short-term gain or loss or a long-term gain or loss. So I think you can quickly open the view sample report.
Sure.
So as you can see, this will show it's a sample report, but if you open it, the actual report, it will show the sell date as today's date, and you can actually take the decision if you exit or if you redeem the particular mutual fund, what will be the short-term gain or loss. So this will help you to make certain decisions to redeem the particular mutual fund based on the taxation.
Yeah, so this will tell you what your current notional capital gains are and how you can act upon them for your mutual fund portfolio. One thing we wanted to talk about before we move on from capital gains is the new equity, debt, and hybrid categorization. I'm sure many of you have questions about this. As per the latest ITR rules for financial year 23 and beyond, when you file your income tax returns, mutual fund taxation has undergone some changes. So for equity funds which hold 65% and higher in equity, they will be taxed as per equity mutual funds. For hybrid funds, which are hold between 35 and 65% equity, they will now have the older debt mutual fund taxation with the indexation available. And then for debt mutual funds, the new debt mutual fund category, which holds 35% and lower in debt, they will be taxed as per your income tax slab rate. So now these are new changes which have been introduced and they are applicable from financial year 23 and beyond. MProfit, we are currently working on building out these changes to our capital gains, and we will have them ready in a few weeks. So anyone asking about equity, debt, hybrid, you will be getting specific different reports for each of these three types of mutual funds. And before you are filing your returns for financial year 23, these reports will be available in MProfit. So we are just currently in the process of finalizing these updates, and we hope to make them live in the next few weeks. But that will make sure that your mutual fund capital gains are in line with what ITR mandates for financial year 23 and beyond. So I think Tanmay, I just wanted to touch that.
Yeah, just one quick point before we move to the next section. So just like realized capital gains, there are some standard reports available from MProfit. We have a tax software format specific reports available as well. So if you go to the tax software format section, you see different options such as Clear Tax, Winman, Computax, Spectrum, Genius, the various reports available. So if you're using any of the tax software portal like Clear Tax, or if your CA is using applications like Winman or Computax to file the returns, you can simply generate a ready-made report from MProfit and you can either use it by yourself or you can share it with your CA to file the returns. So these are ready-made report as per a specific tax software format. So this is really a value add for using MProfit. So not only a standard report, but you get a specific tax software format report as well.
Yeah, and you can basically simply export a report in either of these tax software formats and just copy the data into the template that is required to update the data in the tax software. So if you're using Winman, you can export the report in Winman format, copy the data into the Winman template, upload the Winman template into Winman, and proceed with your tax filing. So, that is, we basically automate that journey where instead of you manually preparing that capital gain template, MProfit just provides the output after you sync your API for mutual funds. We directly get the output, and for either mutual funds, equity, or debt, you'll be able to get this report in the format required by the tax software. Yeah, I think that covers taxation, the capital gain piece for mutual funds. And I think now, Tanmay, we can go into the analytics. And I think a lot of you know that we've added new analytics features. We've covered them in previous webinars also. Today, we'll talk about analytics specific to mutual funds only. And we'll now start showing you what the new updates are there.
Yeah. So this screen can be simply accessed from the Classic app by clicking on the analytics button. Okay, from the Classic.
So I'll just show that quickly. You can click
Yeah.
analytics and you will be able to open this particular analytics view to see the new analytics that we've launched.
Correct. So this module basically shows more detailed insights for your mutual funds. As you can see on the left hand side, you get a portfolio overview and you get a specific asset class view also. Now in this session, we'll be talking more about mutual funds. So we have selected mutual funds as an asset class. For each asset class, you see three different tabs, that is today, holdings, and performance. So under today, you can see for all our mutual funds, what is the current value of the mutual fund, today's gain, a value and also a percentage, and unrealized gain, a value again and the percentage, On the right hand side, you see a asset allocation based on the different mutual funds, how the assets are allocated. If you scroll down a little bit, you see a current investment section, and this is mainly for today's section. Okay. So you can see asset, the holding quantity, average purchase price, that is average NAV, what is the current NAV, today's gain, unrealized gain, and current value.
So this is very similar to what you were seeing in the classic app,
Yeah.
but we have launched the new analytics in our new UI and UX and new front end designs. And soon you will be able to also, get a lot of more features catered to the new designs, this is the new UI UX that we have done. This is obviously the first phase where we've launched analytics in the new UI, and then we will be adding more features and updates also to the new UI. So if your question is, what is the difference between this table and this table? It is fairly the same. This is just in the new analytics view. And then we've added a variety of other insights here as well.
Yeah, there is an additional feature though in the today's section. I think if you go to the bottom of the screen,
Sure.
uh, the current investments can be seen by assets as well as categories. So there is a small drop down we have given. You can select the category option to see the current investments by category. So as you can see, there is a hybrid. There are hybrid funds, others category, equity funds, solution oriented funds. So there are the current investments can be viewed by categories as well.
Right, Aman.
Yeah. So
So
now
this is
let's
just
talk
a view
about,
of sorry. This is just a
yeah,
view of what your current mutual fund portfolio looks like today without jumping into a lot of detail. So this is a view you can come to just today to see how your mutual funds are moving and performing. And you can then go to holdings view. Tanmay, I'll let you speak about holdings view.
sure. So the second tab is basically holdings view. As you can see, you see different categories of the funds now. So holdings view is available for as per category as well as the asset. So on the top left, the right side, you see view by category and view by asset also.
So view by category basically is just a way for you to actually track your uh, overall asset category level exposure, because you might be investing in a variety of different products, stocks, mutual funds, bonds, FDs, PPF, NPS. But at the end of the day, from an asset allocation perspective, you also want to see what your exposure is to each type of category. So equity is a category as a whole, debt is a category as a whole, solution oriented in mutual funds is a category as a whole, hybrid funds as a category as a whole, gold funds are a category. So we've actually created a more specialized form of asset allocation viewing so that you can track your true exposure to different categories. Sorry, Tanmay, you can continue.
Yeah. So these are basically SEBI categorizations, as you can see, view by category. And we have also added a detailed view. So if you click on hybrid main category, you will see a subcategories as well. So if you click on hybrid, you see different subcategories such as aggressive hybrid fund, multi-asset allocation fund. Then there is a arbitrage fund also. So not only a simple SEBI categorization, but we have also added subcategories now for each fund.
So again, once again, to recap that, if you click on portfolio overview, if you are in your analytics view, you click on mutual funds as an asset class, you go to holdings here in the holdings view. Here you can see two levels of categorization. You can see the SEBI categorization here, which is equity, debt, hybrid, solution oriented, others. And then within each category, you can also see further subcategorizations. So within hybrid, you can see aggressive hybrid, multi-asset allocation, arbitrage funds. And then for each type of fund, also you can see what are the different actual schemes that fall under aggressive hybrid funds. So under aggressive hybrid funds, you see the ICICI equity and debt fund. You see the HDFC hybrid equity fund. You can go back and you can within, let's say if you want to see within debt funds, I have banking and PSU funds as the subcategorization, and I have ultra short-term duration funds as the subcategorization. I can click into ultra short-term funds and I can see what the actual funds are within that particular subcategorization too. So within ultra short-term duration funds, I have one fund which is HDFC ultra short-term fund. And again, these are SEBI mandated categorizations and subcategorizations that we have mapped each of these mutual fund schemes to. So if you would like to track your mutual fund asset allocation at different levels, you can do it by going to holdings and tracking these particular insights. Tanmay, you can continue.
Sure. Yeah, so this is all about viewing the holdings by categories and subcategories. And as you can see, we have a simple view also, view by asset class. So if you simply want to view your holding details for actual mutual fund schemes, you can simply click on view by asset and you get a simple view based on actual mutual fund schemes.
So this is just telling you how your asset allocation is across different individual schemes. So this is the view we previously had in MProfit, and this view by category is the new additional feature that we provided. And again, in the table, you can see what the different metrics are for each fund. And you can also track the holding percent of each fund within mutual funds.
Yes. And there is a separate, if you just want to see a particular mutual fund scheme view, you can do that as well. So if you click on any particular mutual fund, you get a specific view here. As you can see, which shows different information that the percentage of the portfolio, percentage of overall mutual funds, what is the current value, unrealized gain. So you get a detailed label for a specific mutual fund scheme also.
And you can also track this folio wise. In this particular level, we also provide folio wise details on what the actual folio number is and what your holdings are per folio. Great. So I think this covers the holding level insights for mutual funds. Tanmay, we can move on to performance.
Yes, yes.
So basically now we've come to the performance view where you actually are able to track your mutual fund performance. And when we talk about performance, we're talking about returns, XIRR, profit and loss, both realized and unrealized, comparison of your portfolio against different benchmark indices, how your overall portfolio is performing at the consolidated level as well as the individual scheme-wise level. So Tanmay, you can explain the features.
Yeah. So this is a third tab, as you can see, a performance view where on the main 12.11% is the annualized return for your mutual fund portfolio, basically. This is by default all to date, but now we have added the option to see a periodic XIRR also. So on the top right side, you see option period, and by default it's selected as all to date. But you can select now for a specific financial year or a custom period, you can generate the returns.
So you can also check your trailing 1 year, trailing 2 year, trailing 3 year returns for mutual funds. Meaning that if you want to just see from 6th January 2022 until today, which is 6th January 2024, what is your trailing 2 year XIRR? We provide these kind of insights. For any calendar year, if you want to track your XIRR for mutual funds, you can track it here. For any financial year also, you can select and you can track your mutual fund XIRR. And then all to date is, since inception till present date, or since you started investing, that is the option. And you can also select a custom time period here. So you can enter any custom parameters and you'll be able to see specific time periods performance of your mutual fund portfolio. So for now, we leave the period as all to date in the interest of time. And here you can see that you are providing insights such as your first transaction date, the current valuation, the total investment and the total withdrawal that has happened in that mutual fund portfolio of yours, the total gain on the portfolio, and then we split the total gain across realized PNL, unrealized PNL, and total income. So that's a granular view of how your total gain is distributed across, the realized component, the unrealized component, and then the total income also, which includes dividends, for example. And then next to that, you have the view where you can compare your XIRR against a benchmark index. So here you're seeing how your mutual funds have performed against the benchmark index, which is the Sensex or the Nifty or the TRI Nifty 50. And you have an option of selecting any 5 benchmark indices at any point in time. You can select 5 indices for a comparison here. So you can track how your overall mutual funds are performed against any index. And just bear in mind that this is the benchmark CAGR. So This basically tells you how your mutual fund portfolio has performed against the CAGR of the BSE Sensex or the Nifty TRI index. So if you had instead invested that amount in the Sensex at the start of the time period, you will track how the Sensex has performed on an annualized basis since the start of that time period until today. And you'll be able to see. So in this case, in this example, for example, you are clearly seeing that the mutual fund portfolio here has underperformed the CAGR of the Sensex, meaning that if you had invested and in that index at the start of that time period, you would have made a 13.5% annualized return versus you making a 12.1% XIRR in your mutual fund portfolio since inception till date. And one thing just to notice, we are going to be adding some more advanced insights here from a benchmark XIRR standpoint. So if anyone has questions about more advanced benchmark comparison performance tracking, we are currently working on that. And please stay tuned. We'll be further enhancing some of these benchmark features as well. Yeah, and Tanmay, you can go down to the performance by asset after that.
Yeah, so just like a report available in the classic view, now we have a tabular view available to see the performance by asset, that is the annualized return. As you can see, it's a simple tabular view, table view, asset, opening valuation, total investment, total withdrawal, what is your total income, which covers dividend income, closing valuation, total gain in value as well as in percentage, and the main XIRR percentage for each fund. So you can scroll down and see if you simply want to get the tabular view, if you want to see the tabular view.
You will be able to see the XIRR for each scheme here, along with many different metrics, such as what Tanmay just explained right now.
Yeah, and there are two views available. As you can see, there is a detail view which we are currently looking at, and then there is a summary view also. If you want to quickly see the summary, the returns for all the funds, you can click on summary view and get the details. Yeah, and the bottom of this the page, you can see the advanced performance insights. There are two views available: historical and financial year wise. Now you can actually compare a particular portfolio XIRR or a particular asset XIRR with any of the index. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, you see a specific index selected, that is TRI Nifty 50. You can click on that and choose any particular index, and then you can see the comparison for last 5 years. So you can select any particular index, and then you will get the comparison how it is performing, how it is performed in last 5 years. So you see your mutual fund XIRR and that particular index return, and then comparison for last 5 years. So this is available. The two views that are there, basically historical as well as financial year wise.
Yeah, so financial year wise will actually tell you in a particular financial year how your portfolio XIRR, how you performed from an XIRR standpoint, and how that compared to the CAGR of that particular index in that financial year. And you get all to date 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and if you have older investments than that, you get 5 year also. So basically 1 year XIRR here, 1 year will tell you what your XIRR was in the last 1 year and how the benchmark, which is the TRI Nifty 50 CAGR was in that same time period. Same with 2 years, 3 years, and if you have older investments, 5 years as well. So 2 years meaning that the last 2 years, this was your trailing XIRR, and this was the trailing CAGR of the benchmark index, which is the TRI 50 in this case. And you can select any index of your choice. Yeah. And as Tanmay explained, you can actually go into an individual scheme also and track the XIRR of that particular scheme and compare it against the benchmark indices and view the same insights for which is the performance by asset and the advanced performance insights for the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year XIRR for that particular scheme as well. So you can always view your performance data at the most granular level in MProfit, all the way starting with the overall portfolio to the actual scheme. So we provide multiple levels of performance reporting in MProfit from an analytics perspective. So I think Tanmay, this covers one more thing before we move on.
Yeah, the equity exposure feature
Yes.
which we have added, it's a new feature we have recently added. after launching the analytics module.
Yeah. So this is the newest feature we've added. It's actually just gone live in the last 2 or 3 weeks, where I think a lot of people wanted this feature where, you want to track your exposure to a particular stock, not just in equities, not just in stocks, but also across mutual funds. You can get a combined view now of what your exposure to a particular stock is across stocks, mutual funds, and also ETFs. So if you are invested in ICICI Bank directly yourself, but you're also holding mutual funds and ETFs that invest in ICICI Bank, and you want to track your combined exposure to ICICI Bank across all of these different asset classes, stocks, mutual funds, and ETFs, we're now providing that insights. So this is just the first feature we've launched for tracking equity exposure across stocks, mutual funds, and ETFs. And you'll be able to see your actual holding from a current value perspective across different stocks combined between stocks, mutual funds, and ETFs. So this current value is not just your current value of stocks. It also includes your holdings in mutual funds and ETFs, and it combines the same to tell you what your true rupee exposure is to a particular stock. And then you can see what percentage of just direct stocks is your holding in that particular stock. So if 6.31% is my percentage of stocks for ICICI Bank, it tells me that ICICI Bank is 6.31% of my stock portfolio, and it is 3.07% of my overall portfolio. And that includes my holdings in mutual funds and ETFs as well. So this is a new feature we've added. Tanmay, if you wanted to share any more insights on this.
No, I think we can move to the next point, that is the mutual fund reporting we have.
Sure. So just to let you know, this is something new. If you can you can go to any portfolio, click on equity exposure, and now you will be able to see this particular view where you can see your combined exposure across stocks, MFs, and ETFs to all the stocks in your portfolio. So even if you are not holding a stock directly as a direct stock, but you are invested in that stock through ETFs or mutual funds, you will see that stock in your portfolio. So that is something new we have just launched, and you will see that for all the stocks you're holding. And you can see there are so many stocks here that you are exposed to because you have holdings through mutual funds and ETFs. So, and you can see that this is 0.02% only because this KEC international stock, for example, would be such a small percentage of your either your mutual fund or ETF portfolio that the overall relative to your overall stocks, which combines your total equity exposure, it is very, very small. Yeah, I think that is it from an analytics standpoint. Now we can go back and Tanmay, I think to conclude the webinar before we open the Q&A, we can just talk a little bit about the reporting, the other kinds of reports that you can generate from MProfit and export to PDF and Excel. So many of you are probably familiar with some of these reports, but just to quickly recap, which reports in MProfit are useful from a reporting standpoint for mutual funds. We'll just talk about that in a little bit of detail now.
So we have already covered the capital gain reporting, which is available, and all these reports can be exported in PDF and Excel format. We have some other reporting available, such as portfolio summary report, which you can see. So if you just want to get the portfolio summary of all your mutual fund investments, you can simply generate the report and export into Excel or PDF format. Similarly, there is an annualized return XIRR report available. Again, you can generate it for mutual fund or for all the asset classes. And these reports can be again exported into PDF and Excel format. So there are 3 levels of XIRR, as you can see. So one is on a specific asset class level. That is, if you want to see what is the XIRR for mutual fund equity. Then second level is basically for individual mutual fund scheme. If you want to see it for any particular scheme, what is the XIRR? And third one is for the entire portfolio. So there are 3 levels of XIRR available in the single report. And this report can be easily exported into PDF or Excel format.
So basically, if you remember the table from the analytics view where you saw your mutual fund portfolio XIRR in a table scheme wise, you can for now get this report also from our classic MProfit app, where you generate the annualized return report, and you'll be able to generate it for all assets, or you can also generate it individually for mutual funds if you want to.
Yeah, and currently we are showing you the report of individual portfolio, but just to add, this report is available on a family group level also. So if you want to see the overall returns for your entire family for mutual funds, you can go to the group view and generate the similar XIRR report for the entire family.
So you can go to family group and you can click reports, and you see group XIRR summary and group XIRR detail. You can generate both of these reports. So here you can see actually what your portfolio XIRR is at a consolidated level, and you actually see which portfolio also it is part of. Okay, then you can continue.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have various other reports available, such as closing balances detailed report, which helps you to see the closing balances, closing quantities, which is available under advanced section. So you can see advanced and then go to closing balances report. You don't get just the as on date information, but for each date, if you have SIP going on, or if you have lump sum investments on different dates, for each of the purchase you have made for mutual funds, you get the information. This is a sample report available for
Anyway, let
stock.
me just
Similar,
generate the
yeah, you can
actual,
generate the actual report also, I
so
think.
that it is clear that for mutual funds how it works.
Right. So this is the actual report for mutual fund, as you can see. So it shows the different dates as well, purchase dates. You see a quantity, purchase price, what is the amount, current value as well. And all these reports can be exported in PDF and Excel format.
This is transaction wise. That is the big difference here, where you're actually seeing your holdings transaction wise. And we can talk about the holding period report also then, my ones.
Yeah, so similar to closing balance detailed report, there is a holding period report also. Again, you get the detailed level of report, and the additional column or the feature for this report is basically holding period days. So last column, as you can see, you will see the number of holding days you're holding any particular mutual fund. And this is available for each purchase you have made. So for each purchase, you will see how many days you're holding a particular mutual fund. Just like a unrealized capital gain report, this is another report which will help you to make the decisions. So for example, if certain mutual fund, certain equity mutual fund, you're holding, let's say for 400 days and you're deciding it to redeem it, you know that it's 365 days, the 1 year LTCG. So if you basically exit or do a redemption, that will be, you will have a long-term capital gain for this particular fund. So all these reports will help you to make certain decisions, take certain decisions if you want to redeem or exit from certain funds.
And then we have the stock register.
Yeah, and under advanced itself, we have a stock register report available. This helps you to get the overall understanding that what has all happened for one particular mutual fund. So it shows the opening balance, the opening quantity, opening value. Then if there are multiple transactions, uh, I think you can
So I
just
guess then my
generate it
just
for
I
all
think
to
let's just
date to get the
create a
view.
period. Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So so basically this report is actually very handy to provide to your CA also, because this contains a list of scheme wise, you get the list of what the opening balance, the transactions are, and the closing balances for any particular scheme, and that includes corporate actions as well. Then you can continue.
Yeah. So this is one of the important report. So at the time of filing the returns along with the capital gains, you can give this report to your CA. And as this gives a complete picture, has all the transactions, opening balances, all the transactions happen during the period, and what is the closing balance for that particular scheme. So it gives the complete information of the mutual fund investments.
And this is available for both stocks and mutual funds. Today we are only showing mutual funds, but you can also generate this report for your equity portfolio as well.
Right. And other than these reports, we have one important report, which is income report available. You can generate income report summary or a detailed report. This actually shows income for all the assets, but you can generate it just for mutual funds also. So this covers dividend income mainly, or if there is other income, you will get the complete list, including the TDS as well.
Right. And I think, Tanmay, lastly, I think in the interest of time, before we move on to the Q&A, we can just talk about the transaction reports for mutual funds.
Right, right. So just like all other reports available, we have a very granular level report, which is a transaction report. Whichever data you are fetching through MF CAS API, if you just want to see the detailed transaction level information, there is a transaction report available. And as you can see, this is available along with the expenses. So if there is a STT, stamp duty, or TDS, you get that level of information as well.
Right. And then lastly, I think we can just talk about the if someone simply wants to export transactions out in CSV format, you can just go to actions. You can click on view all transactions in MProfit, and you will see a list of all your transactions in mutual funds. And you can just click export to CSV, and this will just export all of this entire clean transaction dump out in CSV format.
So there are two ways to get the transactions if needed. One is through mutual fund transaction report, and second option is to simply going to actions, view all transactions, and then you can click on export to CSV to just export all the transactions into a plain CSV format.
Great. Thanks, Tanmay. So I think we are at the end of what we wanted to cover today for the webinar. So once again, thank you all for joining today's session. We had over 300 members join, and we really appreciate the good turnout on a Saturday. We will have more webinars in the near future. One of the webinars we hope to do very soon, maybe in the next couple of months, is a deep dive into PMS, AIF, and more HNI focused assets. A lot of questions have been coming on that front. So we will be doing a webinar on those features in the near future. Thank you all for joining. If you are interested in subscribing to MProfit after the webinar, if you think it's a useful tool, please do so. We hope you have a lovely rest of the day, and we will again see you very soon.